Hello guys, my name is Karla Fernandes. I am a UX, UI and digital product designer, and I love to create products that are delightful to see and to interact with. I'm a Bravo expert, a freelancer, and I also mentor others to become designers. If you want to get to know a little bit more about myself and the 5 apps I have published using no code, make sure to check out my last video. Today, I'm here in partnership with Bravo Studio to teach you how to create some amazing menus for your applications. Let's get started. So guys, let's start with this tutorial and make amazing menus for your applications. Let's start talking about icons. Icons is very important for your menus and for your application in general. But here, what I want to tell you about, it's really on some icons that I use, some icon libraries that are available for you for Figma, and some also that you can just download SVGs like in Flat Icon. So here I want to show you like that I am in Figma community, so you can just access this website, and then on the search you can just type icons. When you type icons and you search for it, what will happen that you come a bunch of files from a lot of other people from the community, and of course there are really amazing people here working and giving you this content for free, so be sure to check it out. But what I want to tell you guys about are the plugins. So here you can see that I have many of them installed, like many of them I actually haven't tried yet, but I want to tell you about the 3 ones that I really like. One is Icons 8 free icons, the other one is Feather icons and Font Awesome icons. You can also use material design icons if you are developing for Android and maybe use different icons for iOS applications. You can do that. But when you decide for which one you go, so I want to show you that here I have this plugin installed. I will install it, right? So for you to install, it's just that you are logged in with your account. Like here I'm logged in with this account, and then you click install, then you change to install, and then you have this black, and then if you go up on top of it, you see that you can install it. Another thing that I think it's very important is for us to love some other people's work, because there is a lot of work done into putting this into the community and also for free. So I think showing a sign of appreciation is always welcome, and I always do that. So I would say that this is how things run in the community, and I would recommend for you guys to do that too. So I have this plugin installed. I will come back to my Figma file here. Like I just mentioned, also Flat Icon. I will just click just for you to look at it. So this is the website, Flat Icon. Here you can search for any kind of icon too. I just search for favorite, that most of the time is a star or it's a heart. The coolest thing here is that there are a bunch of styles too that you can download. You can click on the icon and then you can download it in SVG sometimes. Sometimes you need to have a license, but some others you don't. And when you don't, you can also download the SVG and make some exchanges that it makes it really proprietary to you, or you can also give credit to someone that have created it. So that's it for icons. Let's go to the next step. So here, let's talk about menus, right? Like I added here 5 styles that are very cool, and one of them, the first one, Scarf app. It's an app that I have developed and published for iOS and Android. You can see here the link, and this is the menu that we are talking about. So here we learn how to do a menu that's pretty similar, is using the same structure and you see that you can do that for your own applications too. Check it out if you want to learn more about Scarf app later on. And so this was developed with Bravo. It's one of the 5 apps I have published so far, and you can also check it out about it in the latest video I have done that is here on the channel. So okay, the other menus you see here as an inspiration, I have got them from Dribbble, and I want to show you now. So we have Dribbble here and Behance. Behance and Dribbble are really great places for you to find inspiration. So if I search here for menu, application, you have a bunch of things coming up. Maybe you even search for something that's very specific for the kind of application that you are trying to do. Then you see a lot of styles, and when you like something, you can check it out more and use it as inspiration. I'm not talking about just copy and paste. I'm talking about really thinking about it, seeing the style of the menu, like maybe you get inspired by the colors, maybe you get inspired by the menu, the icons type. So you should see there are so many options. In Dribbble, the same. I hope I'm actually spelling that right, but so here you can also just search for any kind of application you want. So menu, application, or an app menu, maybe you can search for that too, and then you see that there will be a bunch of applications like just popping out. What I did was I did this search, and then I found these apps here that I really enjoy seeing. Like this is from food app, from Tram Mao Tring Tam from Vietnam, and this is very cool, looks very clean, but you know, you see the style of the icons is quite different. Then you have here Greeny app from John Vino, that it's also very simple menu, but you see the selected item is already filled. It's an icon that's filled, it's the same icon, and the brand icon is the one that has the most important place in the page. So you see it really featured in the menu, which I think it's also very nice. And you see here exactly what I told you, like, you know, I liked it, so I give it a like. I think it's very important. And here there is a very simple menu too, but Drinks app from Afterglow did something that's very different. It got a shape here that's fairly simple to do, but it makes it stand out from other kinds of menus. So you have the other items that just have a very small dot under it, that it looks very cool and very clean. And then you have this central item that I would say that probably is the logo from D&D Drinks, or D&D Drinks. And then the latest one is from Alex, and Alex is creating this restaurant menu, which is also very simple. And you can see that the items are in pink, and here he even have a notification symbol with the number of notifications that you have not read yet. But it's so simple that you have just the item that is really featured, like really selected in another color, and also on top you have this little line. And if you can see, I don't know if I can, yes, I can zoom in here, and you can see there is a shadow, like there is a very light pink shadow floating, like in this button here, that's very visible, but here too. So those were the menus that I thought were very interesting. If you would like to have other tutorials like this, be sure to subscribe to this channel and to activate your notifications. We will start now creating the 5 menus that were selected from the 5 styles. Which one is your favorite? Tell me in the comments below. Let's start by just using the plugin we just installed. So if you do right click on your work area, you can come to plugins and find the plugins you installed. So here I use the feather icons, and on feather icons you have a bunch of icons to choose from that you can see here. I will just create the icon for this application that we will run in Bravo later on. I will not use the hamburger menu. If I would just type here menu, I would have the hamburger menu, but you know, I really like this style here, so you just click on it and you see it have added it here to my panel, to my frame. And what I will do with it right now is just to move to this other frame. I will start by resizing it. Click on shift and on the sides. You see the problem which is happening, what is happening here is that the icons made of lines, and the lines are not become stronger. So yes, maybe you could say that this would be 20, but you know, what if this would be proportionally just, you know, enlarged? So you can press K for it. If you press K, you see this arrow that actually has two arrows together, and if you go with it, you see that this proportion from the icon is still going with it. So right now I will just do this, just rotate it and then centralize it. I think it will look cool. I will make it white. I think it's quite boring, but let's use some colors. So colors here, we have some already in this file. I use them. Why not? Bravo colors, right? So great. This really looks like an amazing menu, right? I love it. So one thing that I think it's interesting for you to keep in mind is that Bravo time to time, you see this as a problem. Like here you have a line that is 39.42, and what I really recommend you to do with all your icons is to select the items. So here you have these 3 vector lines. Click with the right button and then turn it to outline stroke. When you do that, you see that now this is not a line anymore. So if you click K, this will be a normal, but you see this is not a line anymore. This now it's a shape, and this is much better to use at Bravo. The other thing that sometimes you have to do is that you use the tag for SVG, but most of the time I never had problem with this, but I just wanted to let you know. So here, beautiful, we have the icon for our application set, and we have used the plugins. We use the other plugins exactly the same way, and I want to show you here the setup. So I have added those menus here below. So the scarf app one that we talked about, this one from the food app, this one from the drinks app, this one from the green app, and the latest one for the restaurant menu. So they are here already set up in variants. My next step is actually to teach you a little bit about variants if you don't know. So I use this space here on the side. What I do is that I create it very simple, but it works like this for any case, right? I just create a button here, and I also use an icon. So I get the feather icons here. I do a home button. So I search for home, then there is this little house here. I add it inside here. I can use K to make it proportional. Great. Like you see, I have a frame inside this. I have the item inside the frame, and then if you move things inside the frame, they will not be visible sometimes, and now I just took it out of the frame. So now it's back. So here we can select everything and then have them centralized. Right now I just put a border here, like a corner, rounded corners, like maybe 10 pixels would be fine. Let's see. Yeah, it's looking good. You can also remove the frame. So I will remove the frame. I just copy and paste here. I will also do an outline stroke like I did before. The other thing you can do here is to merge these items. Look at here at the side. So here you have two vectors, one that's for the door and one that's for the house. So I will just select both of them and merge them together. So now they are just one. And let's say you would have an item of your menu, right? What you do here, you create a component and name this. So this will be like a button home, right? Okay, it's not so beautiful yet. We can put some color on it just to make it stand out. Why not? Yeah, I think green is not so good, but yellow, why not? So here you have the home button, and now you click on the right side here. I just close my plugin. Here on the right side you have variants. So you just click on it, and when I click on it, it creates this shape around my buttons. What it does is that now I have a place that's called buttons that have two different buttons. So here on the side you can see that there is a property one, and here there is the same property one, but this is home and this is variant one. So what will you do? We select the whole button here and we call this property state. And here we call this state default. That is the state that happens when the button is just there. And here it will be the state active. And active is the state that happens when you have it selected. So if it is a menu tabs, for example, you have this menu selected and this will be shown. So I think this one now here looks really like the active one, and so let's make it less for let's say that maybe it was just white and now it will be bright when it's active, right? When you go to assets, you see that here in the local components you have menus, and in these menus you have this button that is this one, and you can just drag and drop here, and this button is now on your layers, and you see it's just written button here. So for us to create a menu on Bravo, what we do most of the time is that we have this button, then we copy and paste it or just drag from the assets again, and then we have one that is default, that is always on top, and the other one that is active, that's always on bottom. And what we do on Bravo 2 is that we select these two as a group, make a group. Actually, we select these two and make it as a group. So here I can say that this button is a button that's called home. So other things that we have to do for Bravo that you see later on is that right now you have default. If I just turn this invisible, you see that the active is still white. Why? So here on the button you have the state, so you have to change it to active. And now when you put the default and to turn it on and turn it off, the visibility, you see that actually they are two different buttons. Another thing we do in Bravo that now I can show you here, for the prototype, what we do is that we always connect the buttons that are default. The active button has nothing, and here should be nothing, and the default button should go somewhere. In this case, I have created 3 frames, one called home, one called favorites, and one called search, and these 3 frames already have all the menus working for them to them, right? Like going there, and when you click on the default, so it will go there. Like another thing you realize that I have added already the menu tabs for Bravo. So here there is this skip tag because this is not being tested right now, and I want to show you guys, like, so this is the latest one. This one was being tested, so I will actually add this as I will start here actually. So here you just have other frames. There is nothing inside. It's just a frame with a simple text, right? So the next step now is for us to check the menus. Exactly like I did these buttons, you can see I have done those. So they all have these folders, I would say, that are like a big components that are filled with variants, that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 to exactly do the same as it's done on the menu. And you can see here that they are applied, like home, default, and active. So this is the active, this is the default. So it's the same principle, and I even added some other design, and I also have added in each of those files a frame that's called container that holds our menu. This is the instruction you have to do to make it work on Bravo Studio later on, and you see it on Bravo Vision. Right now you have here the 5 menus set, and like the ones we were inspired to, and we will now test with Bravo Vision. We are on Bravo Studio website, and if you haven't yet downloaded Bravo Vision to test and publish your apps, you should download it for Android or your iOS. You can just click on this link and then get it on your phone. So are you logging? And are you create a new project? What are you do? Are you go to Figma? Are you share this file? Are you copy the link? And then are you come here, paste it, and create the project. What will happen is that this now Bravo Studio is downloading my Figma file, it's interpreting it. So here you can see there is no print screen of which menu I am trying it out now, but I know the menu is the latest one, as I told you. So here you can see my phone on the screen too. We have the beautiful icon here with amazing menus for Bravo Studio. I will click on it. Let's see which menu you appear. So we will have the latest menu, and if you see when I click on it, it changes from the page and also the icon. So this is the 5th menu we have developed, and it will be for you on this Figma file for you to download. The 4th, so now we will change here, we will skip this one, and we will remove the skip here, because then it will render this one and the 3 other frames, right? So we will save it, and then we will come here, we come here and update, and when we update, you see that now Bravo is loading, and now we have a different menu. So remember, we had this menu that sometimes the icon was filled, sometimes it was just lines, so you have it, and you have the middle one that's a little bit different, is inside the shape, and beautiful as well and working. So about this one, I want to tell you about one thing. So here we have rectangles, lines, arrows, and so on in polygon. So when you click a polygon, you can click and create a triangle, for example. But this is a hexagonal. So you put 6 here. Maybe you want it with a 10, maybe you want it with 12, but this is like then with a 6. And the difference from this for this, you see, it's the rounded corners. One thing that's very cool on Figma, you can either just add here like a 3 or 5, but you can also do something different. You can select exact the corner that you want to make it different. Let's say that these corners you wanted to make it even more rounded. So you can do that. Isn't that cool? But you just delete this shape, and then let's go to the next menu. So here, third menu, I do the same. I just save. Remember, the prototype it's already all done here. I will remove this one just for you to see. I know that right now it looks like a spaghetti, but you see, if you click on the item, you see where it's connected to. So this is the search button. It's going to search frame. If you come here to this one, this is the home button. When you click in default, you see that it's going to the home frame. And if you do on the search, actually just did, but on the favorites, you see that it is the same. So I will save, then I will go to Bravo, I will do this reload, and then you see that soon as it's reload there, it will be reloaded on my phone too, and then you have the items. Here there is a surprise. You see what happened now when I click in the middle. Oops. So when I have created this shape, remember that we were talking about turning outline into like a lines into outline. Here it's a little bit like the same. So I have here just a rectangle that I played with. I will just play with it right now again just for you to see. So I started with a rectangle, and then I came into design. I selected all the corners. So here it looked like a 20 for me. I just added, no, maybe it's a 10 in this size. Yes, great, right? But you see, this is not really just a rectangle. So I will just move it a little bit down, and you see it's a little bit different too. And then you can also just select them, the ones on the bottom. When they are like this, you double click on them, and then you have this, and then you can click on Shift and arrow to the side. And when you do this, it kind of skew the item a little bit. You can for sure find some plugins that also skew things, but that's the way I have done it. And here, the difference between these two, you see that this is a rectangle, looks like a rectangle here too, but this one doesn't, not with the rounded. I know that's quite small to see, but here doesn't. So what I did was I clicked on the right side, on the right menu, on the right click, and clicked on flatten. And when I did that, you probably now saw the difference. So I will just save it, go to Bravo and update my file and show it to you here on my screen. So when it updates, it will also update my screen automatically. And let's see, now it's working. So if you see things like that, try it out, how to flatten things, right? So now let's go to the second menu. Let's skip this one. Put the skip tag, remove the skip tag on this one, and then save. Go to Bravo, update, and see how things go on my phone too. So it's still updating. I will try to update it myself. And now you see it's already a different style. And I have always used the menu buttons with home, favorite, and search, just for you to see that, you know, it doesn't matter what is there, it's just a menu style that you can use in several ways, in several places, in several applications. And the last one, so this would be the scarf app menu. And the reason why I also am creating this tutorial is because a lot of people have asked me how to do this, how to create the shadows, how to create the shapes, and so on. So you can see here how it was set up, very simple too. You have this round coming from the button, and actually the shadow, it's here on the background, so there is a drop shadow here, that there is a color, and then makes all this effect that this menu has here on top of an application. So I will save it now, go to Bravo, update, and check Bravo Vision. And here you have it. You have the fifth menu. So 5 menus for you to play with. And I'm very excited to see what you can do from now on using variants and applying them for your apps. It was a great journey to develop this tutorial for you guys. I hope you have enjoyed it and also learned something new. I have added the Figma file for download on the community. You can get the link on the video description. And when you download it, give it a sign of appreciation as well, so that I will keep motivated to create more contents like this. Please don't forget to subscribe, and let's keep Bravo rising. See you!